Hello and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Recap, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest for asylum seekers and those wanting to stay up to date on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
the Texas National Guard fired non-lethal projectiles at asylum seekers crossing the Rio Grande. The Senate Republicans rejected a bipartisan immigration reform bill on Trump's order. The Biden administration will refer migrants to resettlement in Greece and Italy to deter travel. CEOs urge Biden to grant work permits to undocumented immigrants and address labor shortage. New York City's policy to evict adult asylum seekers from shelters after 30 days faces criticism.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. All right, let's get to the news. First up,
Texas Army National Guard members fired non-lethal projectiles at asylum-seeking families attempting to cross the Rio Grande into El Paso, causing them to seek cover on the Mexican side of the river. The incident, captured on video, shows a Guard member aiming a rifle and firing at least one shot toward the river, prompting Venezuelan migrants to shield their children with cardboard and blankets. Confrontations between Guard members and migrants have been documented previously, leading to arrests and indictments. An unidentified Venezuelan man claimed he was struck by pepper balls after crossing the river to plead with soldiers to allow families to cross. A local news photographer also reported being fired upon while documenting the situation. The Texas Military Department has not yet responded to requests for comment on the incident. The confrontation occurs amid heightened tensions around immigration, as the topic continues to be a key campaign issue ahead of the presidential elections.
And up next for update number 2.
The Senate rejected a bipartisan immigration reform package for the second time, following former President Donald Trump's call for Republicans to block the bill and prevent a political victory for his November opponent. The bill, crafted by a Republican, a Democrat, and an independent, aimed to improve the asylum process, enhance border security, and expedite deportations. Despite the bill's bipartisan nature, Senate Republicans voted it down 43-50, citing the Biden administration's handling of the southern border influx and accusing Democrats of political messaging. Republican Senator James Lankford expressed frustration with his colleague's decision, while Senate Majority Leader Schumer criticized Republicans for delaying action on what they had previously termed an emergency. Critics have decried political posturing by Republicans, now shot down 2 proposals that would have given them much of what they've been seeking for years, only because Trump knows progress on immigration would hurt his chances in the presidential election.
All right, it's time for our 3rd immigration update.
The Biden administration is planning to refer Latin American migrants for resettlement in Greece and Italy as part of an initiative to deter travel to the U.S.-Mexico border. This effort involves creating legal immigration opportunities through regional safe mobility offices. The administration aims to provide alternatives to the dangerous and often illegal journey to the United States by offering resettlement options in Europe. By collaborating with Greece and Italy, the initiative seeks to manage the migration crisis more effectively and reduce the number of migrants attempting to cross into the United States. This strategy reflects a broader effort to address migration issues through international cooperation and legal pathways, aiming to enhance regional stability and provide safe legal options for those seeking to migrate. Greece and Italy are expected to take a very limited number of migrants through the program, as they are already contending with migrant flows from North Africa and the Middle East.
By the way, if you want to stay updated on asylum and immigration reform news, then be sure to press the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. Okay, moving on, we're ready for update number 4.
A coalition of over 1,400 CEOs and employers, represented by the American Business Immigration Coalition, is urging President Joe Biden to introduce reforms granting work permits to long-term undocumented immigrants, mixed-status families, and so-called dreamers. The call comes amid threats from former President Donald Trump to deport millions of undocumented people if re-elected in November. The coalition emphasizes the economic contributions of undocumented immigrants who earn $92 billion in household income and pay nearly $9.8 billion in taxes. The coalition, along with local and state elected officials from 21 states and territories, stresses the need for immediate action to support hardworking immigrant families and address the 8.5 million job openings in the United States. The White House has stated that the administration is considering policy options to ensure eligible individuals receive relief quickly, the coalition says.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams' policy to evict single adult asylum seekers over age 24 from city shelters after 30 days has faced criticism from city leaders and immigrant advocates. The policy, which began last week, allows extensions only under limited circumstances, such as imminent medical procedures or signed apartment leases. While the city maintains that the policy will reduce strain on the shelter system and help migrants take the next steps in their journeys, opponents argue that it will lead to increased homelessness. Asylum seekers express feelings of hopelessness and fear of being unable to obtain work permits. The New York Immigration Coalition organized a rally calling for the City Council to pass the Stop Shelter Evictions Act, as mosques and other organizations open their spaces to provide shelter for those affected by the policy.
And that concludes this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can assist you in securing your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.